Emotions can influence our lives more than we realize, especially when it comes to close relationships. But if you can separate your emotions from others, life becomes lighter and freer than ever. Marcus Aurelius' Stoicism, with its profound principles of emotional control, offers valuable lessons to help you avoid getting caught up in uncontrollable emotions when facing changes in relationships. Under the guidance of Stoic philosophy, we can learn to master our minds and remain free from the influence of negative emotions, allowing us to maintain peace in any circumstance. While we can't always change the actions of others, we can always change how we respond to and perceive those actions. This not only improves relationships, but also brings inner strength and true freedom. Let's explore 5 powerful Stoic rules to separate emotions from others and embark on a new journey of peace and growth. Rule 1. Understanding the impermanence of life. Life never stops, and change is inevitable. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, emphasized that everything we perceive is merely an illusion we build from our personal viewpoints, not absolute truth. Everything around us can change at any moment, from the relationships we build to the goals and aspirations we pursue. This does not mean we should live in fear or hopelessness, but rather, we should understand and accept the impermanence of life, allowing us to let go of things that no longer serve our growth. When you accept that everything can change, you will no longer feel burdened or sad when something ends. Imagine standing before a pond, watching leaves fall and drift away with the current. You cannot hold them back, for they will continue to drift no matter how hard you try. Everything in life is like those leaves. No matter how much you wish to hold on, they will change and move on. You cannot stop the flow of time, nor can you stop the change of everything around you. I recall a time when I had to part ways with a job I had been dedicated to for many years. At first, it felt like I was losing a huge part of my life. All that I had built, the relationships I had formed there, seemed to crumble. But over time, I realized that this change was necessary for my further growth. My understanding of impermanence helped me not to suffer too much from this transition. I learned to appreciate what I had experienced and, at the same time, open myself to new opportunities. When you understand that nothing lasts forever, you will no longer feel tied to the past or anxious about the future. You will live fully in the present, grateful for what you have without fear of losing it. Impermanence is not something to fear, but rather something that brings liberation. When you let go, you will discover that life opens up new opportunities and experiences you never thought possible. You will no longer fear change, but instead you will learn to enjoy every moment, knowing that everything has its own cycle. Rule 2. Practice negative visualization. In life, we often shy away from negative thoughts, fearing that if we imagine the worst, it will somehow make our fears come true. However, in Stoic philosophy, the practice of imagining the worst, also known as negative visualization, is a powerful method that helps us mentally prepare for and face life's challenges. Marcus Aurelius, one of the founding figures of Stoic philosophy, taught that by imagining the negative outcomes we fear, we reduce the anxiety and fear when we actually face them. In fact, this practice helps us learn to accept things as they are. Negative visualization doesn't mean we should be pessimistic or expect the worst. The true purpose is to build our inner resilience. When you imagine what could happen, like losing a close friend, a relationship, or even a job you love, you may feel pain, but that is the feeling you need to confront in order to minimize the shock when it happens. Once you've mentally prepared for these potential losses, you'll face them with greater calm, rather than being blindsided or falling apart when change comes. We often live in an illusion of permanence. When we have a good relationship, it's easy to believe that it will last forever. But the reality is, nothing is permanent, and these relationships can change at any time. When I face the possibility that a close friend might move abroad, I imagine no longer seeing them every day. No more late-night conversations. I imagine feeling lonely and lost. While it was a painful experience, by imagining it beforehand, I wasn't overwhelmed when the truth came to pass. I was mentally prepared and learned to accept the change. By practicing negative visualization, we not only reduce fear, but we also learn to appreciate what we currently have. This helps us live fully in the present, not bound by fear of what may or may not happen in the future. When you accept that everything can change, you become freer, no longer afraid to face loss or change. Rule 3. Focus on what you can control. Life is full of things beyond our control. The behavior of others, unforeseen circumstances, and even the passage of time. This can make us feel helpless and exhausted when facing challenges. However, one of the most important lessons from Stoic philosophy is the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. We only have control over our thoughts, emotions, and reactions, while everything else is beyond our influence. Recognizing this distinction can give you the strength to maintain inner peace, despite the external storms around you. Consider a difficult situation in life. Perhaps you've faced criticism from others, a tense relationship, or a failure at work. It's easy to get swept up in emotions, worrying about the outcome or feeling the pain of unfairness. But doing so only leads to fatigue and more stress. What you can control is yourself. How you face challenges, how you react, and how you choose to think about the situation. We cannot control the actions of others, but we can choose how to respond to them. A personal experience that stands out for me was when I realized I had allowed my anxiety about others to control my emotions. For a long time, I tried to please others, hoping they would love or care for me the way I wanted. I felt exhausted, restless, and disappointed because I didn't feel that I was receiving the care I deserved. But then, I learned to recognize that their behavior was beyond my control. Only my thoughts and actions truly lay within my power. When I shifted my focus to taking care of myself, instead of seeking validation from others, I found peace. True freedom comes from letting go of the desire to control things outside your reach. When you stop worrying about things you cannot change and start focusing on what you can adjust, you'll realize that you do have control over yourself. You can manage your emotions, act with calmness, and focus on what brings you joy and fulfillment. When you understand that happiness and peace don't come from the actions of others, but from your own tranquility, you'll truly discover the inner strength and freedom you seek. Reflect on the bigger picture. In moments of suffering or when facing challenges, it's easy to get caught up in intense emotions, feelings of failure, and the lingering pain. It's hard to remain calm when everything around you seems to be falling apart. However, one of the valuable lessons Stoic philosophy offers is the ability to see life from a broader perspective, reflecting on the bigger picture. When you view life from a comprehensive angle, you'll realize that every event, no matter how painful or how much of a failure it seems, is just a temporary moment in your long journey. Marcus Aurelius taught that when facing difficulties, it's essential to remember that everything changes over time. Failures or losses are just one part of the larger picture of life. We often think that our current problems will last forever, but the truth is we are passing through them, learning from them, and growing stronger. Your life is not a series of insurmountable pains, but a journey with paths and lessons that you must navigate. Looking back on my life, I've realized that the most difficult moments often lead to profound change and opportunities I never imagined. There was a time I thought a crucial relationship in my life would never continue, and I felt like I was losing everything. But when I paused and reflected on the bigger picture, I understood that it was part of my personal growth. That relationship ended, but it opened doors to new relationships, new opportunities, and a stronger version of myself. Life is not about what you lose, it's about what you have left and what you learn from those experiences. Looking at the bigger picture also helps us understand that nothing is permanent. Change is natural, and challenges will make you stronger if you know how to accept and learn from them. Don't let the small things cause you to lose sight of your bigger goals and the long journey ahead. Live fully in the present, but also remember that every painful moment is just part of a much larger story. What you're going through will make you stronger and wiser, and you will move forward with greater confidence. Rule 5. Master your emotions through rational thought. Emotions are an inevitable part of our lives, but we don't always have to let them control us. Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic philosopher, taught that emotions are not the truth. They are the result of our thoughts and how we interpret the world. We can't stop feelings of anger or anxiety right away, but we can control how we respond to them. Our thoughts have the power to decide how we feel about every situation that occurs. Imagine receiving bad news at work. Maybe a project failed or you were criticized in a meeting. Instantly, feelings of disappointment and worry may overwhelm you. You might let these emotions control you, spiraling into fear about the future, or you could choose to think differently. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you might ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "How can I improve to avoid making the same mistake again?" When you change your thinking, your emotions will naturally follow. Positive, solution-oriented thoughts will help you stay calm, rather than letting negative emotions take over. Marcus Aurelius advises that we can control how we react to external events. Emotions are inevitable, but how we accept and process them is in our hands. Events don't always unfold the way we want, but we have the power to choose how we respond. When you learn to control your thoughts, you will no longer feel like a victim of your emotions. Mastering emotions through rational thought doesn't mean denying your feelings. Instead, it means recognizing and accepting them, but not letting them dictate your actions. When you can maintain clear and rational thinking in difficult situations, you'll discover that you can preserve your peace even in the most stressful circumstances. By learning to master your emotions, you not only become stronger, but also freer, because you no longer let temporary feelings control your life. Life isn't always easy, but with Stoic principles, you can find the strength to control your emotions and prevent them from taking control of you. Marcus Aurelius's rules have shown that we can live freely, peacefully, and powerfully, no matter how turbulent the world around us may be. By applying these lessons, you will not only master your emotions, but also create a life that is unaffected by external factors. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the valuable videos to come. Share if you find it helpful, and feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts. This conversation will help us grow and become stronger together. Thank you for watching.